And welcome back to what I think is week 6. Am I right?
Yep.
Week 6 in the Overwatch NACE
Tournament. There you go.
league. And this is going to be an interesting one. We get to play Troy, who kind of came out of the weeds and kind of a mystery team right now.
Yeah, I mean, kind of easy to actually. Never mind. I won't say that. That's trash talk. I'm sorry. Basically, what I was going to say is that this team has not won a game this season, which is very similar to us. So they kind of snuck under the radar a little bit. So when we saw them this week, we're just like, wow,
Who are these people?
who are these guys? And they don't really have any like VODs or anything. So we'll be interested to see who they are, pretty much.
Yeah, so like not only do we not know who they are, I mean, we know they come from Troy. The Troy Trojans is what they're called. But we are kind of out of the loop of what kind of compositions that they normally play. So it's going to be a surprise once we go in. But once again, we kind of feel that ISU, for probably the first time this season, are in
They're favored.
the favored for the win tonight.
So if anyone wants to place a parlay, I would strongly suggest putting $100 on ISU to win this game.
I would say not strongly.
Oh, okay.
Because Troy, as much as they are a secret, they are a secret. So even
This is
though
true.
we are the favored, but that is literally by one map.
Yeah.
So statistically, we should be favored, but we will have to wait and see
Yeah.
what exactly we will be in store. As far as map goes, and I didn't actually hear who got the
We did.
coin toss. We did?
Yeah.
Great. So we got the coin toss going to Leijing Tower, and I think that is a pretty box standard choice for ISU. And once again, we're going to probably look for seeing who comes out swinging, who gets the damage per second sooner and gets those pockets filled, and that will probably be what wins the match. Right off the bat, we do see. I want to point out first that Average Pillow is going for something that we don't actually see all that often from him.
I might switch before walking out the gate.
You think so?
Maybe.
Yeah. Also, Farah. I don't think Zaref picks out Farah too much. Maybe once or twice. But as far as Troy goes, we get to see the Renatra and Brig composition.
One thing that the Bengals will have to watch out for is they are running the May, which I don't know if anybody was here the first couple weeks during the season. ISU did struggle with that May wall, especially on this map playing this choke. But ISU does a very, very good job of securing the point first, finding themselves in a defensive position, forcing the Trojans to kind of have to move their way in and break their defenses.
Oh, and here it comes. Average Pillow coming in hot and heavy. Already got down the support, and there goes the tank. Diane does go down, but ISU has established a good dominance here on the point. One other thing, I don't think I have seen in my career Lemonade play Farah, and I feel like that's an interesting pick, especially since the control point is inside a building.
One thing that I would assume Lemonade is probably looking for is like this map is really good for boops, and so far she is like a boop character. So when they do cross this choke right here, there is a spot where you could potentially try to get somebody in the water. But Lemonade will have to be careful because they do have a Sojourn, and with those added perks that Sojourn has, she's now able to one-shot a lot of squishies when she's fully charged and gets a headshot. So this is something that will be very dangerous. And Lemonade will have to watch out for, but
Yeah.
as we see, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, while you're talking, ISU managed to get a team wipe, and they were really strong. I think I'm starting to put more of my money on ISU's corner here.
Yeah.
For this set.
Bodie, $100.
Yeah. But Lemonade does get her ultimate first, which I'll just say I think they were talking about Far's potential of doing a lot of damage in close quarters with the barrage. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So we might see that here pretty soon, as long as she doesn't die or get sniped out. Once Troy decides to finally come in, it looks like now is the time. She's going to find that moment to be able to use that barrage. And it looks like it's coming in right now. She's got
But it's here too.
It worked out in her favor, just like they planned. So we shouldn't be surprised at all that the VAR came out tonight. because Far is really buffed in this meta
Yeah.
this season. So I guess before the perks, Far was stationary while her ultimate was going. One of her minor perks does allow her to move around, and these kind of close quarters, that really makes a difference here.
This was an excellent ult from Average Fellow. Popping the cage, trying to keep them off of the point from touching. Somebody did touch, but it didn't end up mattering because we swept them anyways.
Yeah. Wow.
Very, very, very nice first map for the Bengals.
Very nice. So once again, like, that is, I think, one of the first times we get to see a very strong, what's the word I'm looking for?
Lead.
A strong lead, a strong first impression for ISU. And I think it's not going to be hard to see that they're going to just use that momentum and use that that newfound, I guess, victory joy to just propel them through the rest of this.
They should be able to carry that momentum over and just completely roll this next map.
Looks like Rope has chosen to go with the Ana, maybe trying to kind of stop any momentum of these really hard pushes.
I would say it's probably mainly geared toward slowing down Average Fellow a little bit. Their Malga does not make it over through the teleporter, and that will eventually cost them, causing two of their squishy to be picked right off the rip, the rest of them following. Very nice execution for the Bengals.
I wonder if they're going to go for any stagger here. No, Average Fellow.
Everyone's already
I thought Average. Oh, all dead?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought like
Team
one
wipe.
person. Okay.
No, their Malga didn't make it through the window of the teleporter.
Okay.
The squishies out.
And now it is ISU's turn to play a little hard deep. Oh,
Very
Average Fellow
big
decided
slam
to
for
come
Average
in
Fellow.
right
Does
off
get
the bat.
antied.
Oh, he
Trying to
manages
get out.
to come out.
Gets carried very well. They're trying to find a pick or two, playing this off angle.
And now they just get to kind of stagger the team, which works in their favor quite nicely.
Another team kill for the Bengals, showing complete dominance first map.
I can hear them. I can hear them laughing in the back.
That's something that we haven't heard in a while.
I think last week we got to hear a lot of energy from one of their wins in the map, but I think I can see them. They're having fun.
Trojans trying to take this off angle once again, but immediately being met by Average Fellow.
Now it's kind of hard to distinguish through all the chaos. It looks like Chief was able to grab Xerath in the process.
Not without trading 3 of their teammates.
Not without trading, but if we can analyze just a little bit what Troy is doing that makes it, or I guess what ISU is doing that makes it so hard for Troy to break out of these choke points and bottlenecks. Average Fellow is being very aggressive today. We love to see it.
And with that aggressive playstyle, he's being complemented with very, very nice supports. Big cage for Average Fellow, trying to get a couple.
Does manage to whittle down.
Does end up getting sandwiched. Lemonade like shooting fish in a barrel, is able to get 3. And Average Fellow securing the last one for another team kill that should secure them map 1. And that will be it.
That's awesome.
Game 1 does go to the Bengals for the first time in... Did we win Game 1 last week?
No, we won game
3.
Yeah, we won game 3 last week. This, I think, would be a historical moment for ISU, winning the first map of the set.
Look at that, shooting fish in a barrel.
And quite honestly, tonight we should expect a lot more historical moments. This will be I predict a lot of firsts for ISU.
Yeah. I mean, overall, that was just a very dominant game.
Yeah.
Like, that was just, they had no rhythm, no chance. ISU was able to secure the point first every single time, rooted themselves in a defensive position first. And with that, I think that's where as we know before, once we get on the point first, that's where we're most comfortable. That's where we're most efficient.
That's where we get to see them shine, and they are able to be the tacticians that they need to have the arsenal in their favor. Today, it was just pretty much a no shot.
Yeah.
I want to say just no shot. ISU came in really strong, hot and heavy, being on point first, but also getting those DPSs, getting that damage in very effectively. I think average pillow, they're probably
Yeah, I like the
overperformed.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, I haven't seen Average Pello play in Malga a
Yeah,
lot,
not me.
and I think it worked out very, very well.
Hmm.
Because it allows Average Pello to have that aggressive play style and have that like defensive play style that he likes to play when he's playing Queen.
Hmm.
But Malga has a lot more survivability than Queen does, and so it complements it just a little bit better.
And people have said that Queen isn't really that strong right now.
Yeah.
Queen did get some perks along with the rest of them. The ones that are most notable is that she gets extended wound when she pulls back her knife, and I'm trying to remember the other ones.
When the one I use, at least when I play, is when she Queen ults, she gets life steal. So basically she
That's
gets
right.
lots of health back.
I feel like we did see that maybe in last week's matchup. Correct me if I'm wrong, did Average Pill pull out the Queen and during Flashpoint and was able to
Flashpoint, I believe Average Pillow was on Zarya the entire time.
was it?
I believe so.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I don't know why I thought it was Junker Queen. But oh well. It's working out in the favor. So some things that the ISU team have talked about that they're probably going to be playing more into the meta and changing up what they usually play. These perks have basically changed the game for just about everyone.
Yeah.
So we expected to see Zarya. They pull out the Maga just to trip us up.
Yeah.
But looks like Troy will be picking King's Row as the second map, which works in ISU.
Almost like a home game for the Bengals because
Yeah,
I feel like that's probably what we would have picked
Exactly.
if we got it. So should be very, very familiar grounds for the Bengals.
But going back to the meta that ISU is going for, we got to see Genji last time. Was correct? I'm not mistaken. I'm not hallucinating that. We saw
Genji and Farah.
We saw Genji and Far, who are both really strong with their perks. We might see Sojourn before the night's over.
From the Bengals, maybe.
Maybe. If
I doubt it because Ashe is no longer banned.
Yeah.
And I think Ashe is more of a comfortable pick for Lemonade.
Who is also very strong. Yeah. So, but if Lemonade needs a little bit more versatility, movability, we'll probably see that. But probably for this map, we won't see it quite yet. Yeah, she will be going with the Ashe. Xerath will continue with the Genji. Average Pillow still going Maga, which is uncharacteristic, but a welcome sign.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
It's not broke. It looks like Sandwich is also going to continue with the Malga. We'll see that Bracky does come out with the Sojourn. But yeah, other than that, it's a pretty similar composition for Troy from the last map.
Xerath might be able to get this pick on the Sojourn. I believe he hears him. I think Sojourn just gets out before Xerath can secure that pick.
And
very nice.
There it goes.
Kill for Diane, shutting down. Is that Chief? Yeah. Huge dynamite for Lemonade. Woo! Nice shot.
Lemonade doing what Lemonade does best, finding those picks and executing them.
And that is a instantaneous cap for the Bengals, immediately forcing them back.
And it looks like they're going to be playing a little aggressive.
Yeah,
looks like Malga.
Why not?
Average Pillow is on the chase just to add a little bit of a twist of the knife there.
Keep it going. Big slam. Secure a kill off that slam. Efficiently? Yes. Yeah. Efficiently staggering both their tank and their DPS.
So once it, we have not really seen ISU play this deep into enemy territory this far into the game. Wait, no.
Wow, that point is very far.
It is.
Poor Brig.
Making the cakes is just loving life, cruising.
Taking a very, very aggressive stand. This angle is very aggressive for Average Fellow.
Ooh,
Has to fall back just a little bit because it is leaving the backline a little bit vulnerable. Seraph does unfortunately go down right when Diane reloads. Bad timing.
Average Pillar does manage to take out their tank, which should open the door for them to continue this push. He goes in hot and heavy once again.
Kind of backing up a little bit to push the point. They are down a tank, so I doubt they'll try to touch. They will more than likely just be wiped out.
Yeah. So far, this has been a pretty uncontested match.
Almost have 6 minutes coming into this last push. Idaho State will have most of their ults coming in this next fight.
Yeah, with Troy only having about 2, probably 3 in just a few seconds here. But ultimates do come out. Diane does bring out the orbital ray to help her team get around this corner. Average Pillow using that charge just to get out of there. Lemonade and Zeref do go down. ISU is going to have to back up and out of this tunnel. With as much of a lead that ISU has, this shouldn't hurt them too much. They will have...
First fight we lost.
Yeah, relatively lost. We still have 3 ultimates in our pockets compared to their 2. We were able to get Jacob to use theirs. So it looks like Chief is deciding to come out and grab a kill. We'll see if that actually works in their favor.
Trading picks for both teams, but ISU does have the spawn advantage, so they can just walk back into spawn and be safe. And then re-engage pretty easily. Trying to secure this pick, does end up getting a pick on the Brig. Very nice shots from Average Pello.
ISU is back
down
the payload.
Big Dynamite.
That's a huge one.
Dynamite? Dynamite. Wow. Yep, I speak English. Big Dynamite for Lemonade. Zeref popping the blade. Chasing down the Malga. He's running.
Is he going to get him? Oh!
Hey,
oh, he got him inside the face.
Back it away.
That must hurt. And they will touch to contend this one last time, but
it will not matter.
It will inch closer.
And the ball just barely gets there.
Out.
Saw
And with that, Troy was able to push them back just
they shaved off
barely.
like 2 minutes.
So good on them. I mean, if Troy wanted any wish to winning, they had to stop them for at least a minute.
Yeah.
But on top of that, they're going to have to perform just as well, if not better, than ISU did. And I don't actually see that happening.
So you got on me with the trash talk last time. Now look at you.
I'm not trash talking. I'm just what the game's doing.
My gosh.
Okay, here's the difference. We're winning now.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we changed the comp maybe a little bit. Yeah, Zeref choosing a more defensive character instead of Genji. Torb.
I wonder if Sandwich is going to stick with the Wrecking Ball. Rope has chosen to go with Ana, maybe trying to stop Average Pillow in their tracks and
a little bit
actually take him out. If they can do this, stick together as a team, maybe that's going to work in their favor.
I would be extremely surprised if Sandwich stays on ball.
We'll see if Braxy chooses to go cheeky. I saw him choose the Widowmaker just a moment there, but
I don't think there's a point.
Backed out.
There's, like, we know better not than if they have a Widow to not peek it. So unless Braxy is comfortable with playing Widow for a little bit, not just in the spawn, then
yeah, they're gonna bring out the Brig to kind of peek that.
And Sandwich will stay on ball. Which should be interesting. It's the first time we've seen ball all season.
Yep.
At least not just a stall.
Average Pillow kind of provoking the Widowmaker. Let's see if he... And Bracky does finally decide to change to a Tracer for the remainder of this match. Looks like the Wrecking Ball is going to be a little...
Very low. Does end up getting the pick.
Oh, they do manage to find Lemonade in the process.
They will end up trading that, but tank for a DPS. Favorable trade for us, even though Sandwich will be back a lot quicker than Lemonade.
Yeah. And right off the bat, it is looking good for ISU. Troy has not matched the momentum coming out of the gate.
Oh, and they will immediately switch off of ball back onto Malga.
Yeah. They tried it. Didn't really work. It looks like their Malga is a little overextended. We'll see if they actually decide to chase that down.
Oh, and they will actually give up the space, letting him take it for a little bit. Lemonade playing this very nice off angle, trying to secure a couple picks.
Oh, it's working.
Nice headshots on Sandwich.
Working fabulously for her favor. And now she gets to play with these other players, and I think she's just a little bit more mechanically gifted here.
You can say better. It's okay. You can say better.
She's just a little better. Bracket does immediately get the ult and decides to pop it off immediately. Does not really begin all that fruitful for them. Once again, they do lose their support and tank comp.
And the rest will go down pretty easily.
Now, ISU are just about ready to have 3, if not 4 ultimates to their expulsion? Words.
I don't even know what you're
It's rubbing off. It's rubbing off.
Yeah, I know.
I can't talk anymore. But having a Cassidy with an ultimate this early in the game is kind of devastating, especially when you have 1 point to contest, and that zoning effect that she'll be able to invoke on them is going to be really hard for them to play around.
And the only counter they do have is just fair Genji, but you can just time up the ult. Excuse me. Just time up the ult until after Genji uses a deflect, and then basically he's rendered useless.
Yeah. Looks like Nano Boost does come out, and it is time for a cage match.
Too bad there is hot lava in that cage. Taking down, I might even try to say their name tag, the enemy team's Brig.
And with just 1 more minute to go, ISU has successfully kept this point uncaptured.
And now I think it'll come into what you were talking about earlier, that zoning ult from Lemonade.
Oh yeah,
This will
still has it.
Probably be maybe 1 long fight territory, the last one for the Trojans. So Lemonade can use that ult to try to keep them off point, maybe cause a C9.
I want to see if, I mean, the Malga is definitely going to charge in. Maybe if she can get behind and use that zoning to take out some stragglers in that pursuit. But it looks like she is taking a more step back approach.
Trying to value her life a little bit more this time. Might be able to pick this Malga.
Oh, and it
just barely
gets
the shield.
And he was hiding
Just to die anyways.
hiding behind that red.
Come on, man. Give us the clip, dude.
But it does not pay in favor for Troy. They do lose. I think that was 3.
It was all of them.
Yeah.
And Lemonade goes up into little pieces. Oh, Diane.
A little overtime, and we get to see the wrecking ball once more just for a last ditch effort.
At all.
Oh, they do manage to touch.
Barely touch.
Let's see if they.
It's okay. Tap padding.
And there it is. ISU with game 2 or map 2 under the belt, and another historic win for ISU. Their first ever second win in a set.
Yeah.
And hey, we get to see Average Pillow again. Let's see what the Overwatch gods decided was the match. And it was the very last cage match of the game. And yeah, rightly so. Whew. I love to see it.
Yeah, that's fun.
We're making history.
That was fun. I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like there's not much to talk about. Like,
Unfortunately not. I mean, let's talk about their tank. They tried things.
yeah.
Didn't work in their favor. They had to go back to the Malga. At the very end, last ditch effort, bringing out the wrecking ball once again. And that time it was just the touch, But
Yeah.
at that point, when you're just touching, it's just going to snowball from there and make you lose. But ISU not only was able to get their second win, but they also didn't even let them contest that zone pretty much the whole
That was
what, 4-5 minutes?
yeah, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That was the first time I've seen a complete shutout.
Yeah.
From the Bengals.
So pretty much an awesome, near perfect. If they didn't get zoned out that first round,
Yeah.
would have been a near perfect match.
Yeah.
Not match, map. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting to see this type of like domination, I guess I would say, because when you look at like the ranks of like their team versus our team, like some of the ranks are similar. So you wouldn't think that it would be this much of like a one-sided fight.
Yeah, but we also need to take into account that even though both teams are relatively new, ISU probably has one more season under their belt than Troy does.
Okay.
And that does go a long way. I have seen ISU improve and improve and improve. And Troy, I'm sure they're improving.
Yeah.
But they just had less time to do so.
Starting out. Yeah. This is very true. I mean, I'm not too familiar with that because this is my first season. So I guess I'm kind of coming in at a interesting time.
Yeah. You come in, you get to see Troy bloom.
Maybe next season we'll see them win
But,
a little bit more.
But at least you do did come in and see a win, which we didn't get to see last week.
Yeah.
Sounds like we will be getting a substitute for Troy. And let's see who that actually is. Looks like, oh, where is my roster? There it is. That is ISU. There we go. So it looks like
Sandwich is coming.
Sandwich is coming out?
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's their tank.
Yeah. So they're going to be switching out their tank. We'll see if they decide to switch up the roles or if they're just switching out, subbing out the tank primarily. But yeah.
It's time for them to bring out their trump card.
Yeah, let's hope. Hopefully it is a trump card.
Spruce is their ace up their sleeve.
And once again, we'll see the map set. Troy will be choosing New Junk City for Flashpoint.
Also one of the maps that we've seen a lot. My personal not favorite map.
Not Fizz. You did say that.
For this mode, I should say. I hate this map.
I get lost in this map.
Yeah.
I think that's my problem.
I don't know. This map just sucks.
But shout out to our observers. Wonderful angles. They're doing the Lord's work. Now, in just a second, we will see the comp. Once again, Spruce was traded in, and Sandwich was traded out. Looks like they will be changing up the roles a little bit. This time, Chief is going to take up the mantle of tank, while Spruce decides to go with a DPS of Bjorn.
I'm just saying right now, just by looking at each of their comps, this should be a complete and utter domination for the Bengals.
Yeah.
Because that's Zarya with the Lucio. Going into a Queen, that's good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
We said before, Queen is not particularly strong in this season. But Average Pillow has decided to go with Zarya once again. We got to see quite a bit of Zarya last week.
And it was on Flashpoint as well.
Yeah, and
that was the map we won.
Yeah, he dominated. He did very good. And so he's going to take a note from that little chapter of his life and apply it here. We'll see some excellent plays.
Zarya unfortunately does go down from rope, but imagine probably got slept.
Yeah.
Bengals capping the point first, though. Getting a little bit of charge. Diane does go down as well. 2 picks for the Bengals. Now a 3v5.
Let's see if
Baking the Cake does get cheap. And gets another one.
Man, we're just seeing a lot of
Gets another one
off-screen
that.
action right here. Zara and Bacon and Cakes are now keeping the zone non-contested at this point.
I think Bacon and Cake forgot they was on support.
Sometimes that happens. I mean, Bacon and Cakes has been in the DPS position before. He probably was just a little deer in the headlights, like, where am I? He's like, what? They're dead.
I mean, it worked because we were down 2.
Yeah. And now ISU is playing a little bit aggressive, keeping them boxed in, out of the zones.
They're doing a really good job at not just completely feeding into the Zarya bubble. They are reducing average Pelos' charge quite a lot.
Graxy did find Diane and managed to take her out.
They will have to try to touch here. They don't have any ults to touch. Average making a cake, looking for that boop, and does get it and successfully boosts him off the point. That was an extremely good boop for Bacon and Cake.
Yeah, good movement. And that is first point going over to ISU. And now, looks like a little box out action. Average Pillow does find Spruce. Takes him out. Ow. Ultimate-wise, ISU is going into this very next point looking very healthy. Lemonade has that zoning option to her. Average Pillow should be able to stay in zone and not get pushed out. I wonder what perk he went with, or if he's picked his perk yet.
Who?
Average Pillow.
We could see the scoreboard, I can tell you.
Yeah. One day.
Nice grab. Woo! With paired.
They all just line up for him.
There. Very nice combination.
Man, that was a wombo combo. We got to see a wombo combo like that last week, and it was amazing.
It was a classic move from the Bengals.
But looks like the ult economy has gone over to Troy's favor for the time being. It's going to be probably a 3v3 as far as ultimates go, if Diane does get hers at the end of the day. Nope, it is 4. Troy is pretty close to having all 5. Jacob does decide to pop out.
Average Pillow getting dangerously close to death. Is able to be kept up though. Spruce able.
All ultimates have been busted out here, and is it going to work?
Yep.
And there it is. For the first time, Troy does grab a team wipe.
It only took all of them pressing Q at the exact same time.
Right? And I mean, even got ISU to push their Qs all at the same time.
That is true.
That's nothing to sneeze at.
But coming into this next fight, they will have grab, which in theory should just, if it's hit correctly, should just be a complete game winner.
Ooh, Diane finding the angles, trying not to get found out. And does manage to grab Chief.
Gonna break this turret in the back. Lemonade trying to secure the kill.
Ooh, there it
Does
is.
end up securing it. Zara following up.
And did they get? Oh, they did get the point back.
And
that.
gets it there too.
Let's see if anyone's here to touch. Doesn't look like it. That second point does go over to ISU. And ISU is down to, I think, Flashpoint is just first to 3, right?
Yeah.
It is down to this. ISU, for the first time, is in the range of having a clean sweep set. And let's see if they can do it. Average Pillow and Zareth both have the ultimates, and that's probably what they're going to have to work with for the time being for this first third point.
Very nice
fight.
grab. Pulse bomb coming in. Does end up securing 3. Very nice wombo combo, as you like to say it, from Average Pillow and Zareth.
I do like to say it.
You do like to say it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it makes me mad, but it's okay.
Well, you can't be mad at a dime like this.
This
ISU is doing fantastic at killing the entire team before the point was even open. Now it just allows them to just take free real estate.
And Lemonade, Bacon and Cake does get caught lacking just a little bit.
Now, I'm expecting Troy to come in all hot and heavy right now. Unfortunately, they have Lemonade to deal with her zoning ability. Pillow just manages to barely stay alive and still get the picks. No, he doesn't manage to grab it. Rope does kill them. Chief does have his ultimate as well as Jacob. Diane and Lemonade still holding on to theirs. As long as they cannot die, they should be able to keep this. Nope, it has been taken over. So ISU will back off and reconvene.
But since Lemonade and Diane didn't die, they are able to re-engage pretty quickly. Just got to wait for Average Pillow to come back. And they are back really quick because Bacon Cake is playing this too. Imagine Kiriko Rush, yep. Engaging Kiriko Rush in the air to Lemonade probably ults after this Queen ult. If Lemonade is able to stay alive.
Lemonade has still not used her ultimate quite yet.
Braxy does end up securing 2 picks.
I wonder if ISU is going to choose to not contest this and let it go to point 4, or if they're going to pull out all the stops here. I mean, they could use the Lemonade to bully them out, but they could also save that for the next 4th one, which I'm fairly certain they're not going to have a problem with.
Well, and they do choose to not just give it up. Average Fellow swapping back to the Queen. Getting tossed around just a little bit. Braxy does secure 2. 3.
And this 3rd point does go to Troy.
Yep.
And I'm glad to see that Lemonade did not, in fact, use that ultimate and held onto it. And yeah. Yeah, I like to see that. So, it wasn't a clean sweep. ISU did, I would say, correctly decide to not contest that too heavily, or at least pull all the stops in the process. Yeah, without using the ultimate, Lemonade switches to Ashe, which is interesting. Maybe deciding that that zoning is not going to be that important in the end.
Average Fellow respecting the Queen duel, popping off Zarya. Trying to secure. Lemonade does end up securing the pick on Braxy, which has been their pretty much ace up their sleeve this match.
Yeah.
For Troy. Been their best player. Zarya does go down in the process, so it is both DPS traded. Nice shots from Lemonade. Trying to secure that Dynamite. Does Dynamite.
Almost does.
God, can I say that word?
Dynamite.
Jeez.
But yeah, a controversial pick, or controversial move from Lemonade, but it seems to be working out. She definitely knows when to sacrifice the ultimate in favor of Butt.
The Bengals will end up losing that point, but not without securing it first and getting 40%.
Lemonade was able to get a lot of damage out and filling that pocket really fast. She will have the Bob to her disposal going into this next fight. Spruce and Rope over at Troy also have their ultimates up. Bracky and Chief will have them up momentarily, so we'll see if ISU decides to wait for that. No, they're coming in hot. Bob comes out. Unfortunately,
Braxy is on another level this game.
Fortunately, it might go to 0.5.
This is one thing we did talk about earlier is like the strength of Sojourn right now, especially with her perks. Sojourn is a very, very good spot, and it's really showing in this game right now.
I'd almost suspect that Lemonade, out of pride, could switch to the Sojourn into the 5th point and kind of see who's better. Oh!
So Chief does end up going down. So does Bacon and Cake, though. Zarif does secure Rope with the Pulse Bomb.
It is a neck-to-neck matchup right now.
Does
now it's just down to Average Pillow.
Braxy.
Average Pillow will solo this point, and
Zarif is there too.
Zarif is there too.
Oh no,
Circumnavigate that lava though. Not easy.
That was Spruce. My mistake.
Will they touch?
So we didn't end up securing the point over. So now it's just a matter of just keeping it. But we are stretched thin for this last fight, so it will be pretty hard to try to keep it.
Both supports do have their ultimate. Bacon and Case decides to use that before almost going down. Diane
does end up securing one on the rope. Lemonade follows up with another one. Both supports are down for Troy.
Now it's just down to Chief, and Chief does manage to go down as well. Spruce will probably back up.
And I think that will be it. I don't think they can touch.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, no, they can't.
Oh, does manage to get Lemonade getting 2 right at the end there.
And
that is the game.
Yes.
ISU's first win in the 2nd season, or first win in 2 seasons.
Yeah. And it is a, what would they call it?
Clean sweep.
Clean sweep.
3 stomped.
Very nice performance for the Bengals overall, just completely dominant. They got paused, they got stopped up just a little bit at the end, you know, dealing with Braxy's sojourn just a little bit, but you know, it's okay.
But we got to see that ICU is able to pivot. Like
Yeah.
they can make those changes. Switching to that Ash really did work in their favor. Lemonade's ability to get those picks, and I would say her ability to use Ash in those distances,
Yeah.
in those tactical ways, just proved to be the better choice in the end.
Very true.
Yeah, and that will conclude. Anything you want to talk about before we end tonight?
There's not much to talk about.
Not much to talk about, like other than we won.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm sure ISU will be riding that high of victory for the remainder week, right until next week, where they match up their last match in the NACE League. And I don't remember who they're playing. Guess we'll find out here just shortly. But tune in here next week, around the same time probably, 6:30. Just heard word they are going to be playing Minnesota Esports in that last league match.
This is the last game of the regular season.
Yeah.
Correct? And then we go into tournament.
Yeah, and
knockout.
I'll suspect that we'll probably be close to us and Troy will probably be close to the lower end of that seed. But it was fun. It was a fun season, and we got one more.
There we go.
And who knows? I might be able to pack out a second one.
Yeah, I know.
So we will sign out. I'm Dirk.
I'm Noah.
We'll catch you guys later.